Good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. Today we start off with the striking resident doctors. Good news, a bit of good news on the horizon. All other things being considered, the strike might be called off by the end of the week. But perhaps we're getting ahead of ourselves because we have with us Dr. Jerry Isogun, Secretary General, National Association of Resident Doctors, who can tell us the real score. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning, Yori.
Thank you very much for joining us. Was I a bit optimistic there, or is that the fact? Is the likelihood very much now in view that striking resident doctors might be able to call off the strike?
Yes, like I said at the commencement of the strike, we are not proud of the strike. We don't want to engage. We don't want the strike to continue. In the first place, we didn't want it to start. But as we speak, such statement has not been made because yesterday, like you would have seen if your correspondent was there, the meeting didn't end well. As we speak, government agencies are still not sincere. Whereas the Committee on Health tried their best to resolve these issues, but it was obvious that most of the issues are beyond them. For example, our members have been working for the past 4 months without salary, are still, there's no hope for them as we speak. And these are the same people you want to tell to return to work. And they told us categorically that they will not be able to work without their salary. So that is one of the problems that we don't, as we speak, doesn't have solution.
Okay.
So saying that this strike may be called up by Friday is not true until our members are paid. That is the mandate given to us. Until these people are paid and they are migrated to the platform that will not make them to have the same problems again. Because we stated communicate that you have the demands. But as we speak, unfortunately, those demands is as though the government is not serious yet. We've not seen government power yet, telling people to do what they should do. People are still coming at this point to be explaining. People are still explaining or defending the actions that led to where we are before the committee that mediated the meeting yesterday.
Yeah, so but at that meeting, at that very meeting, the Director General, so news reports say, the Director General of Budget Office of the Federation had, offered that actually the money for the resident doctors training, that is for 2020-2021, is actually available and on ground. Whereupon the House, I understand, directed all relevant offices of government to do the needful to make sure that these monies are released.
Yes, you are correct. That is one of the component, but that is not all. Like you as contained in the communique. Even at that, as we speak, we still have the Ministry of Health to write a reminder to an agency of government who is saddled with the responsibility of making that payment. So it took a strike last year for this money to be paid, an act that has been in place since 2017. It took a strike. So I think Nigerians need to know why there are incessant strikes in this country. It took a strike for this money to be paid last year. This year, when we started, we met with government and told them that we don't want strike. We want these monies to be paid even before our members go for exams and updates by April. Because this money people are hearing, it's not money given to you to go and buy a car. It's not money given to you to build a house. This money is given to you for a purpose. And the purpose is being defeated. So we need to ask government, why will they always wait for strike to happen before they will do what they're supposed to do? So it was clear, even yesterday, that for 2022, it was going to require a strike again, if not for the DG budget that reminded them that we are budgeting again now. You people have left it out. You see the kind of people that are leading the health sector. So when people continue to blame doctors for going on strike, I think it's not fair. Because we have come to realize, because we are not there, if you don't shout out, if you don't cry out, they don't do what they are supposed to do, and you'll be at the receiving end. So that component somehow has been resolved, but we still await the letter that is supposed to be written to that effect. It has not been written.
Well,
we are going back to the Ministry of this morning, by this 12, to have some of these things finalized. But mark you, what we have now is not the same thing as last strike by April. That time we easily took what they gave to us in terms of promises and agreement and went to our members, convinced them that these people are giving us documents that they will do A, B, C, D, and let's believe them. And because of that, we suspended the strike. I think people need to know, Nigerians need to know, so that everybody will come out now to demand, because this strike, the mandate for the strike is different. This is based on the failure of government to implement what they have signed. So are you still going to give me a promise and I take back to the same people? You can answer that question. So that makes it difficult for us. And among the demand is the basic thing as payment of the emolument of people that have worked. And as we speak, let's leave the residence training fund aside. People that have worked, people that you are still telling to go back to work, to pay them is not even at sight. As we speak, they are still saying that people that you have engaged for more than 8 months now, you have paid them about 3 months to 4 months. They are saying that it is now. You want to revalidate. And these people are still working, even up to this strike. If not for this strike, they will still continue to work. So it means that you didn't even have any plans for them.
How, Doctor?
After that last was agreed. It was agreed that to prevent this kind of situation again, let them be migrated to the IP's platform so that their salaries can be regular.
Dr. Sogun, would that not present another challenge? Whereas we've actually been on this, being migrated to a different system. We've been on that for, if I can remember, we've been 5-7 years now that agitation has been on. That's a separate component. Might it not complicate, if you want, the delicate balance that we have now? I mean, if you actually add that on to it, paying of the outstanding salary is one thing. But you also said in the same breath, and migrate them to this the salary that you want. NIPS have some, if I remember correctly.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I think you have just nailed it. Payment of the salaries of the work they have done is on one side. That has not even been achieved, despite the strike. So Nigerians need to know that government is not serious. We begged them yesterday. These members need their salaries. That is one component that we think it should be as easy as ABC. That they have not been able to do. Two, we are saying that we are tired of this recurring strike, because these members, even if you pay now, the salaries will accumulate. The salaries will accumulate again, and we'll come back to the same point again. So we said, even at the last strike, that the solution to this problem is that they should be migrated.
Yeah.
And the government agreed with us. They agreed with us and set out timeline. They said specifically that before the end of April, the IP's director stated that if they complete their verification, that in 2 weeks they will enroll all of them and they've captured them and enroll them on IPs so that they can have regular salaries like every other person.
Okay.
This was not done.
All right. One moment, Doctor. One moment, Doctor. Let me bring on Wale in Abuja. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you, Yuri?
Thank you very much for calling in.
Good. I will not be too long, but let me just tell you exactly that I am an elder. I just don't like the attitude of the minister. We are all born to die. Those people, the doctors, are doing a great job, and they have to be paid. They have to be paid. I don't care about what everybody is saying. It's like repetition. Let them hear for once. Let them be paid. They are human beings like us. They have their responsibility to take care of. And that's my contribution. Thank
you very much for calling in, Elder Wale. Okay, Doctor, a vote of support there coming from the public, as it were, because you see, if you're outside of the system, it does seem incredulous what is going on. People work, the laborer is worthy of his wages and all of that, and so people can't really get their minds around it. But I suppose we should not be rubbing some paper on the wound, because where you're at now, a lot of progress has been made. There is the likelihood a few other things being put into place that this strike will end pretty shortly. But you still are continuing, the meeting in the National Assembly is continuing today, am I right?
No, we are being referred to the Minister of Health, our primary employer.
Oh, so there's no Senate section, because you were in the House of Reps yesterday. So that's it. You've now been referred to the Ministry of Health, right?
Yes. We are going to the Minister of Health by 12.
Okay, by 12 today, you now have a meeting.
Hope that they to attend to the issues, because we are very responsible people. We have put on paper what they should do, and that serious government should quickly address them one by one.
Okay,
and we know that these are not difficult. Some of the issues are not even monetary. For example, our AS officers, the lowest cadre of doctors who do a lot of work in this country, they were not paid. That was one of the reasons for the first strike. They were not paid, and as we speak, about 114 of them are still not paid.
Okay, now, let me bring on another. I hear you, Doctor.
The head of service got out a circular removing them from the scheme of service. The scheme of service that she benefited from. The scheme of service that she benefited from, she's now removing. And we are asking her, give us the reason why you are removing them from where they were. She has not been able to give us that reason. And yet, she's refusing to withdraw the circular. We have a government who should call her to order. Nobody is doing anything. And they are blaming doctors for going on strike.
Let me take on another caller. Good morning, Mr. George in Ikeja.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Good morning, sir.
Uncle Yori, just two days ago, a doctor friend of mine who runs a private hospital was telling me that he's in need of 5 doctors, that he does not have doctors in his clinic anymore, that they have all gone abroad seeking for greener pastures. And here we are in a country that has the kind of resources we have in this our country, debating on basic salaries of doctors. It's shameful, Uncle Yori. I watched the minister make a statement on television, and it gave us the impression that he has no solution to the problem. He cannot handle it. Then he should resign. He says discussions are broken down. The doctors can go to wherever they want to go.
Are you talking about the Minister of Labor?
Minister of Labor, yes.
Dr. Chris.
Then he has no job to do. He should resign if he cannot handle labor matters for which he was employed. The attitude with which our medical staff are being treated is not good, and it has to be addressed. First of all, the leaders, our leaders, none of them or none of their children goes to local hospitals. When they have malaria, they go abroad. These doctors are helping those who cannot afford all those things. They use our money to go and treat themselves abroad, but they don't care about those of us who are prone to all the diseases at home that cannot afford to go abroad. And then the minister is telling us that the doctors can go to hell. He cannot do anything, that they should put a register down, and whoever doesn't come, the salary you are not paying. You are saying that whoever doesn't come will not earn salary. They are on strike in the first place because you have failed to pay them.
Okay, but things are looking a bit better now. Mr. George, I hear you, and indeed you are speaking fact, but things are looking a bit better now. We might just be getting to the end of this.
How would it look better, Uncle Yori? How would it look better if what I'm hearing from this doctor on television is still the situation as we speak now? How better is it?
But they are heading for a meeting. They're heading for a meeting at noon in the Ministry of Health, where the directories might be given.
I think the government, Uncle Yori, sorry to interrupt. The government needs to take this matter to a higher level of resolution. Let the head of, the secretary to the government do direct negotiations with these doctors in liaison with the Speaker of the House.
Okay.
So that all these things would be ironed out. I'm tired of listening to this type of thing in a country where we have resources like we do.
Okay, Mr. George.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for calling in. Dr. Ishogun, what exactly is the agenda for the meeting at the Ministry of Health this morning, at noon?
Yeah, thank you very much. The meeting is just They asked us to go there as a follow-up from yesterday's meeting. For maybe they are going to give directive, to the people that are supposed to do their job.
Yes.
Because that is still lacking as we speak. Maybe, I use the word maybe, because as we speak, we don't think so. What was revealed yesterday was that we have seen a situation where an employee is behaving or looking bigger than the employer. So that's a situation where we have found ourselves. People are still explaining and defending actions that have led to strike. In this desperate situation, they should be taking desperate measures. I think that people that should negotiate with us, like George just said, should be people that can give directive, people that can give orders that will be followed. So where we are now, we don't know what will come out, but we are going there. They are our primary employer. We are going to go there to listen to them.
Okay.
And what comes up?
Mazi Okorafor has also called in. Let's listen to Mazi Okorafor calling in from Arochukwu. Good morning, Mazi.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Dr. On the Sky.
Yeah.
See, sir, let us face the reality of life. Meeting does not hold. We have other means of getting money to pay our doctors. These are our doctors, not foreign doctors. You know, when Nigeria was using foreign doctors in those days, Cuba, Russia, everything, were they owing them? They were not owing them. Now, this is homemade doctors. Some of them school outside Nigeria, and their parents train them. They have families. They go to school. They pay school fees. They feed. Now, how do you expect somebody to go to the office without transport money? Will you go plug it, or will you go stand at the junction and start carrying plates and video Babia last year? Is that what he's going to do? And now you ask yourself, we have to. Can the federal government go to that bank? All this money is sovereignty fund, waiting for reserve. What are they reserving? What are they funding for? Bring the money and pay the doctors. People are dying every day. See people that are on the oxygen. They cannot cope up because there's nobody to attend to. Because others are not doing the needful. They'll go there and say 1 hour they will go. What type of country are we doing? Government states go and pay our doctors now or never. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day in Lagos.
Indeed, thank you very much, Mazi Okorafor. Well, Dr. Isogun, you can see that people, quite frankly, they're not even doctors, but people are angry. It's like they feel what the doctors themselves are feeling,
I think that is the way to go. Everybody needs to be involved. Let us call the people that caused this strike out for them to do the needful. So let me quickly bring in here that part of the issue also involves the state governors. Many state governors are not also doing the needful. Many of our members in the state are suffering.
I have heard one state. Sorry, Dr. Isogun, on that point that you raised. Sorry, Dr. Isogun, on that point that you raised, I have heard one state governor say that he doesn't have a problem. That is, his state doesn't have a problem. So why are doctors in my state? Why are they joining this whole strike? So he was angry about that.
No, he cannot be angry because there are issues that the state chapter have raised with them. They need to resolve those issues so that because it's the same patient, the same doctor, is the slogan. Patients that they are treated in the states are not different from the patients being treated in the federal. Okay. So the COVID-19 we are talking about now is the same everywhere. The states need to sit up and keep to their responsibility.
Indeed.
States should behave like state like Delta State. Delta State is the only state, as we speak, Delta State and Benue State, that have domesticated this medical resident training for. Delta State have not gone ahead to pay what we are still struggling with federal government about. Has gone ahead to pay all our members in the state. As we speak, we are still fighting with federal government for minimum wage consequential adjustment. Delta State has also paid that.
Okay, Dr. Isogun. Dr. Isogun, we're going to have sorry, Dr. Isogun, for interrupting you. We're going to have to leave. I realize there's a time lag, but I was just saying that we're going to have to leave it here, and we hope and wish for the very best at the meeting you have in the health ministry later on today, so that this whole situation can come to an end amicably for both parties, by which I mean the doctors on the one hand, and then the teeming patients that need the attention of doctors on the other. Thank you very much, Dr. Jerry Isogun, for making time for us this morning. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Indeed, Dr. Isogun is Secretary General, National Association of Resident Doctors. I don't know. If you don't have any call on the line, any other call on the line on this subject, maybe I'll go to a break. if there isn't any other call on the line. I don't think so. I've not been told such. So we go on a break. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. And the other thing we wanted to look at this morning is the leadership of APC as far as the congresses, which we talked about here. Now we can report that you've all seen it. APC governors, they are backing the Buni-led caretaker committee, and you know what the arguments are. There are people who say that all of this is a fallout, as you know, of the Supreme Court decision. There's the minority decision. I think it was 5-4. Or is it
3-4?
3-4. Just one difference. There was a dissenting. There was one vote that sort of swung it, so all legally knowledgeable people are saying that there's much to pay attention to in the decision of the Supreme Court. Even that minority judgment, that 4-3 judgment, that people say that it might be, waiting to kick APC in the butt subsequently. But, as I said, governors, for instance, they back the Buni-led committee. The whole long and short of it is that I think both our constitution and the APC constitution say that a serving governor cannot have any other major job. I'm not talking legalese. I'm talking English, but you can't have any other substantial occupation. Now, this running the party is a substantial occupation. Give me your thoughts, if you will. By the way, I'm sorry I haven't introduced you. You see, I'm taking for granted that everybody knows you. You're so frequent here and on our news. Mr. Olayinka Daniel, lawyer and public affairs analyst. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
So give me your thoughts on this whole matter. There are those in APC that are warning, say, take caution on what is going on. And there are those which I think include the Attorney General and other legal luminaries in the place, and certainly the governors that are saying that no shaking.
Well, maybe I should start from the Supreme Court judgment, which was so glaring. One thing we should take cognizance of. You see, when people make noise, so much noise on the certain judgment, I wonder, so where is why don't we make noise on
the judgment
itself? The correct judgment that which is going to be the precedent.
Yes.
Because the certain judgment that people make so much noise on is not going to be the precedent.
It isn't.
Because there's no need to add value to that.
But you just said it was a 4-3 decision.
Yes.
If it had been 6-1, then what you are saying, I can understand it.
Yes.
But because there was only one person that swung it, people are saying that a substantial number of legal luminaries, minds, interpreted in the other way, and that you can't wish that away. In fact, people are saying, bring a microscope. In addition to the judgment itself, as you are saying, why would no less than 3 justices see it the other way? Shouldn't we pay attention to that? Might it not come back and bite them in future?
Uncle, we need to be very careful when we want to go that route. Why did I say that? 1,001 people can tilt to a side and does not necessarily mean that is what the law is. Now, we have 3 against 4, and the 4 is saying this is the position of the law.
And so that's the law.
That is the law.
It has become the law.
It has become the law. It has become the precedence. Why can't we just make emphasis and really look at what they have said, and reason why these 4 people have come to agree together to say this is our judgment? Why do we pay less attention to that, and we pay more attention to the dissenting judgment?
Okay, because I'm guessing now, because there will be more cases. Now, if that is the case, and those legally minded people and lawyers that are looking at it and saying that there might be danger, I suppose the point you made is an excellent one, which is that even in those future times, it is the majority decision that will be referred to.
Very
so
well.
that is what has become the precedent.
And now, okay, the noise also is basically more. The noise is actually on the legibility and legality of Governor Buni.
Yes.
If we want to streamline it,
yeah.
Let's just take that out of many points that were raised. Now, the question is section 183 talked about, as a governor, you cannot act in an executive capacity. Now, the question now is, has that section been violated? Has he acted in another executive? Is he a governor and a minister? Because I really want us to look at this. Let's say we have governors forum.
Yes.
Now, in the governors forum, we have the chairman of the governors forum. Not so. So now this is a political party. Now we need to also understand that Governor Buni is a member of APC before becoming the governor. Now, meaning, if he's a member of APC, he has not gone to get an appointment or a ministerial appointment or some paid appointment, as been said by that, been capped by that provision of that section. That is not what he has done. Now, this is a home front. There are issues in the house, and we want to fix this house. I said, okay, fine. He's a caretaker committee, and also don't forget section 17 subsection 4 of the that's the article. Sorry, article 17 subsection 4 of APC Constitution. That's 2014 as amended. Also made it clear, talking about organ, that an executive, that means a governor, whatever, will not take any position, any organ. Now the question that, what is the organ of the party? What are the organs? Now, is caretaker committee part of the organs of the party? Section, if you look at Article 11 spelled out these organs on that, or under the Constitution, under the provision, the sections of that Constitution. It made it clear. And caretaker committee is not part of that organ.
But effectively, the caretaker, Buni is effectively running the party.
Very well.
And he's a governor.
Very well.
So that's where
that's the reason why
those that are on that side of the argument.
Don't forget that from tribunal all the way to Court of Appeal to Supreme Court, none of them has moved away from the same judgment. None of this, from tribunal to Court of Appeal to Supreme Court, none of them have. Supreme Court has come also to say, okay, yes, I agree with the submission of the Court of Appeal on this, that section 183, subsection 183 of 99 Constitution as amended, has not been violated by any way by Governor Gumi, being the governor of Yobe State and also acting in the acting capacity.
Buni.
Buni. Acting in the acting capacity of the caretaker committee. So we need to clear this. And so far, if we also look at it, when he took over the mantle of this of the party, we saw what happened. A member of the BOT of PDP, Madam Joy, joined the party. We have governors from PDP that have joined, 3 governors from PDP that have joined APC. If someone is working hard and is doing well, I think what he needs now is support from every member of the party to say, okay, how do we forge ahead from where we are? It took you from where it was. It has gone ahead of what it used to be. Now, I think what it needs now is support from, and
in any case,
development for me from seeing the governor backing
the governor's backing him, and he himself has said that I'm not budging. Reverend Dominic, good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in. Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning, your guest this morning.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Daniels.
Let me answer his question, and let me answer what he's trying to say. There's no way he will be a governor and a chairman of political party. Why is he holding his executive office? Yes, because some appointment or some things he has to do that have to give a legality to a governor or a senator. He's doing it. What the chairman of political parties can do, this governor is doing it, whether it's a caretaker or not. Caretaker is what I don't know how to put it now, semantics. But he's functioning as a chairman of a political party. Understand what I'm trying to say? Number 2, Yori, I have read that judgment. I don't know whether it's fake or not. Everything is fake now. The first man was saying why he could not join the minority is that because the man who went to court did not join this Buni to that matter. So if you did not join the man in the matter, how do we not give you judgment? Which means if you have joined the governor in the matter, the judgment will have gone the other way around. And number three, most of us who is inside and Nigerians think that the first man, that's the way we get that judgment. And that judgment, if they push it further, it may take us what we saw in South State or in River State. So we don't want to take chance. We know what I'm trying to say. We have to put this girl go to this party. Let this man go. Let them have a normal chairman that will take us to where we're going to. Or if the judgment continues, somebody go to court. I join this governor. I come to the judge who said, the Supreme Court judge. The reason why he did not join his colleagues is that they did not join this man.
Yeah.
What if a man come tomorrow and join this man into this matter? What would the judgment be?
Indeed.
I may be wrong, I may be right. The lawyer is there.
Thank you very much, Reverend Dominic. Thank you very much for for your analysis, because there are people who have spoken along those lines as well.
The reason why Supreme Court and the judges of the leading judgment, the reason why they raised the issue of not giving any judgment over Bunny since it wasn't joined is clear. And it's not ambiguous. I think we should be careful of how we mumble all these things together, and maybe for the fear of some people that think, they can go their own way. It's simple. Even if they are joined Bunny, the question is, will it have overturned the judgment, as against Bunny or as against APC? I do not see that happening. They are saying that you cannot ask us. You don't ask the court to give you what you never pleaded for. No. Court deals with your pleadings. So if a petitioner has come and he has not pleaded, he has not joined Bunny, so he cannot decide on that. That is all they are saying. Not that the Supreme Court is not saying because you did not join, that is the reason why the judgment went this way. No.
Why is the APC then in something of a tizzy having a meeting to examine the implications of the judgment? It's because of these things that were these shades that we're talking about. There will be colors, but there will also be shades of colors. And I think APC is meeting because depending on how this whole thing goes, it could come back to bite us in the end. Now, keep your gunpowder dry, because I know you have something to say. But Mr. George has called in again. It's on a different subject. Good morning again, Mr. George.
Okay, sorry, I have to come back.
No, you're very welcome.
An interesting topic.
Yes.
Like Reverend Dominic said, that what I also saw on that judgment is that the reason why the fourth person did not join others was because Bunny wasn't added to the list of wasn't added as one of the litigants. So the statement by your guest that the judgment was not because he wasn't added, I didn't see that in what I read. What is happening is that the truth of this matter is that there is a clique of governors who are not attuned to a particular person emerging as their presidential candidate in 2023. And are doing everything possible to make sure he does not come. But what they do not know is that it might bite them in future. Anybody, you don't even need to be a lawyer. If you have a narrow lead judgment, especially in the Supreme Court, 4-3, that should give you some concern and be more careful. Even amidst the party, Festus is there, a senior advocate. I heard what he said. There are other people in the same party that said, look, we need to tread with caution.
Yes.
But some are just bent on going on. Is it a case of, a group not learning their lessons in spite of all the past experiences? Mm-hmm. That's what I see in this matter. You need to be careful in taking a decision that can backfire in future. That's what it is.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in. In addition to Festus Kayamo SAN, I think there's also there's a whole battery of SANs. But I remember Babatunde Ogala, former legal advisor of the party SAN, and his counsel was that, look, let Governor Bunny, let him just go and face his elected office. He was voted. He was voted into that office, and The moment that is done, it would uncomplicate a lot of things. But what do you think of Mr. George's reasoning that the reason the fourth judge didn't join on the other side was because of the technicality of, look, the man wasn't joined, so I'm not even going, you said it. The court doesn't, it's not, I've heard it often said that the court is not Father Christmas. It's not going to give you what you didn't ask for. And since he didn't join, okay, I'm concerning myself with the law, so he came down. It was 3-3, we can imagine. He now said, I have to come down on one side, and he came down on the side and cited that the man was not joined, so I'm not even going to pronounce there.
Yeah, why he did not consider it? Not that he said, I think they need to go and read that judgment. He never said the reason why I am not joining this side is because this man was not joined. In his own judgment, though being the lead judgment, all he did was to make emphasis and also to join the judgment of the Court of Appeal. To say, okay, I cannot rule over this. I can't go this route because the man in question was not part of the he's not different than here. You didn't join him. So I can't give any grounds. I can't give any judgment over this. That is all he has said. If you had joined, then he would have looked at it. It could go either ways, really, but don't let us assume and conclude that it was because he said he wasn't joining for that purpose.
I think the learned justice was being extremely careful simply because there is no further appeal. You've arrived at the last bus stop. So he had to make sure that it's very clear in the minds of both the public and particularly the lawyers through who you can arrive here in future, that this is why this decision has gone this way.
I think it's also good to let people know that when they say that some SAN are on this route, they should also know also that we have SAN at the other side.
Let me quickly bring in Yakub in Dokwemo. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling in.
And good morning to your guest.
Mr. Oladaniels.
I disagree with your guest 1,001 times. You see, the issue is this.
Let's hear it.
There is a power play in the party. As Mr. George rightly said earlier.
Sorry, Yakub. Mr. George also, alluded to that matter. I thought we would be looking at the judgment and the law in particular, but please feel free. Feel free to go there. I'm not going to. Feel free to go there if you wanna, because what you're saying is that there's more to this than meets the eye, right? This whole tizzy within the APC.
Sivjori, that is where I'm heading to. You see. Let's even look at the APC constitution. Leave as the judgment alone now. Let's look at APC constitution says that you cannot hold two executive power at the same time. What is their constitution say? Are you getting it now? So
but don't forget that it's a temporary matter. The man is not there sitting down gidigba.
Okay, it is a temporary matter.
That is, I'm saying how they are saying it legally.
No, sir, that is not the truth. It is a temporary matter, as you said. I disagree with it as well. Because the issue is this, if it is a temporary matter, it spent 6 months before, and then they asked for extension tenure. Another 6 months. Now, what will happen? I didn't be. Your guest was trying to bend the English that he was not joining, he was not part. See, whether joined or he was not part or is a part of the suit. The issue is that I didn't mean that the PDP does not make that great mistake. I said one time ago that Mr. Jagede, the lawyer that Mr. Jagede appoints, I'm the one that appoints such lawyer that fights that suit. I will collect my money back from him because he make a great mistake without not joining that guy. Because I didn't mean joining. The matter class go other way. The government should never tell us that we should not look at the
Mr. George.
So all of us we are sympathizers of this party. They should be willing to leave. Let the people come in. Let the new person come in. So that they will not take them to court in 2023, whatever the gain they get, and then they will distract in the appeal court of the law. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you very much. But I just wanted to point out one thing.
Yes.
That Mr. Yakub said there. Lawyers don't do refunds. So forget that matter about you will collect your money back. I'm sorry, but
Okay, Ray, I need us to also understand something. The Electoral Act is clear. it is not on the must that Mr. Buni and the secretary should be the one to sign the form, to sponsor a candidate. No. It could have been anyone, any member of the party on the instructions of the party to sponsor a candidate.
I hear you.
So that's the reason why we are saying that the issue of Buni does not even arise. And reason why the lawyer to Mr. Jegede didn't deem it important to join Buni.
That is why Yakub said he would have taken his money back. So just bring back your feedback. You have failed me as a lawyer.
That is not possible.
But again, lawyers don't do reform. But let me call in Ibrahim in Kaduna. Mr. Ibrahim is calling in from Kaduna. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. Good morning to your guests and also those that come before me.
Indeed.
In fact, I am trying to connect things, but it's not true. You see, Mr. Yori, quite okay. I would like to go into the first matter is on the issue of this doctor strike.
Don't spend our time further.
Let me brush in a little bit. Let me brush into a little bit. You see, doctors are also our own brothers. And you see, this condition between the government and the doctor is that let all of us make a sacrifice, just single sacrifice.
Yeah, but I hear you, Mr. Ibrahim, but you're breaking our momentum. Okay. Right. You're breaking our momentum by bringing in a different subject. Could I just appeal to you, please, to go to... I knew you wanted to say something about this one as well. Could you please say that? Because the point you are making has been made already. The doctors are our brothers. Why would anybody treat them like they didn't have the rights that we have to our wages? Are you still there? Oh, I'm so sorry that we lost you, but I was just trying to see, if you could see the reason that we don't want to break the momentum of this conversation that we're having, because it's quite interesting. There seem to be those on both sides. One person has been so angry that he had said that had he retained the lawyer that Mr. Jegede retained, he would have asked for his feedback. That is how disappointed he is that the Buni was not joined. But it needs to be said that they are no less than the vice president. I mean, he's a professor of law. I'm not quite sure what side the vice president is on in this debate.
Well, I'm very much aware that there were series of meetings after the Supreme Court judgment from all stakeholders. And
Mr. President had asked him, from abroad, had asked him to convene a meeting of all the lawyers in...
So for them to come up and for the governor to come up to say we are backing Buni and let's proceed.
So we can take it for granted that the Attorney General is also on that side.
On that side. So let us just take it for the fact that yes, they have looked at it holistically and they have measured the consequences or whatever the implication, and they feel that okay, this is good for us. And so far, I will repeat, if you look at what Buni has done since he came into the office, he has done well. He has even attracted people joining the party, and he's fixing things. Yes, there may be few factions here and there, and I think that the reason why, with this backing from governors, I think, the sky is the limit.
But sir,
for them to go all the way.
When you say when you want to credit Governor Buni, with the defections into the party. Defections of politicians in Nigeria, that doesn't count for very much. This is, there are those who would tell you that ideologically these same governors that have been attracted into APC will be attracted into APGA if the conditions are right. But I have waiting for me Nduka, Mr. Nduka in Imo State. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Happy to get connected this time around.
Okay.
Let me contribute to the discussion on. I would think that APC should be foolishly wise. That is, at times, it takes being foolish to be wise. At times, it takes being foolish to be wise. Let Buni step aside. Let another person be there. He can act in any other capacity, but not in this one that is being challenged. And thinking about the 2023 elections, let's not begin to have the problems that came from Zamfara, Bayelsa, Rivers again. So once beaten, twice shy. So it should be better for APC to please do not sacrifice the interests of APC on Buni's headship or that interim or whatever organization. That's my take on that. Well, I would have wanted to say something about
I'm so sorry, sir. We've run out of time. Is at a premium. I'll just
one
implore.
statement on the doctors. One statement.
Okay, go ahead.
That will be
Keep it
done,
brief, please.
If anything will be done, doctors that are working in government hospitals spend 3/4 of their time in private practice. That is the bane of health in Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm happy that you got that bit in, but I can't really spend time on it. But thank you for slipping that bit in. Yeah, where were you? You see, this is why I don't like people to take us back to the other subject. But we were saying that the president asked the vice president to get a meeting together of all the lawyers and let them consider the issue. I will imagine that, you know, the vice president, even if it were the president, would just have been one man. And the lawyers, they seem to have decided largely that we're going to go with the Buni-led panel. That's why the governors are saying so. I think I can take it for granted that the Attorney General is also on that side. But that those who are fearing that if it becomes an issue in future, then APC might indeed be biting its finger that if only we had known, because it could undo, so they say theoretically, a lot of work that has gone up to that, and then APC will be behind. That seems to be the simplistic explanation of it.
I see these as just the fear of the unknown.
Okay. Well, people plan. People plan for
True.
the unknown.
I agree.
And so they're saying that we need to get our act together as a result of this judgment. And if senior advocates of Nigeria are contributing their opinion, you know.
And like I said earlier, even senior advocates of Nigeria are contributing their opinion to the other side of the coin too. So we need to look at it. And it mustn't be
thought that the senior advocates are infallible anyway.
Very well. I agree with you. And the reason why some of us also, we have, our opinion on some of these things. And the reason why we are saying that if they have come together and they have had meetings and they look at it holistically to say, okay, this is the route we should go. And as of yesterday, it was already settled among all of them. Okay, let's go this route. They know how they're going to manage this. So what should be done now is for them to put their house in order. Present the young ones to the people. Probably you have your primary, you have your convention, then you have your primaries. Bello is there, the number of young ones are there. So they can, and Bello is doing fine and he's going around already gaining, the momentum already. So if we can have young people to come together, let them have primaries, let them come up with someone and present to the people. I'm sure we should not distract the party with this noise. This noise is basically coming from some of the people that, some element that really want to put the party in a mess, or that doesn't even want the best for the party.
As Mr. George and I think Reverend Dominic and I think also Yakub, they said there are ulterior motives to all of this APC leadership tussle, because that is what my producers wanted to call it. They wanted to call it the APC leadership tussle. Effectively, it's like a battle for the soul of the party. When you look at it,
some people may be the one doing all this, raising all this dust to make sure that things doesn't work well, so that the power can go to them. So we need to be careful. So not just to hear the noise. We need to technically checkmate what has happened, the judgment for the Supreme Court to go that route. And for, the party, the governors, they have come. I'm sure the governors, they know what they are doing to say they are giving some backing, and there are also lawyers that are looking at this. So all of us cannot be on the same page. There will be divergence of reasons, opinions, and all that. So I think we should.
And I think the main point you've also made today, not that is the only important one, but the main point is that, hello, that's the decision. So that's the decision, and that's the law. But people that are saying, bring that minority decision under the microscope, you are saying that, maybe we're splitting hairs, because it will never be cited anyway. What will be cited subsequently would be the actual judgment.
Very well.
I want to thank you very much, Mr. Yinka Ola Daniels. for coming on the program this morning. And also to all our viewers that have called in, thank you as well for contributing. That's what makes the program what it is. Let me just say it. COVID-19 is still out there. They say we're sort of slacking, we're forgetting, it's almost, we're not forgetting, but it's almost as if we are, because all those protocols we are told, socially distance, wash your hands frequently, mask up, don't go to crowded events, all of those, people are just saying we should just pay attention to them again. It can only be good for us if we do. So that's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I'm Yori Folari. Bye-bye for now.